Hi guys, today we're looking at Loosh energy, as well as predictive programming. Look at this babalong, oops, so klein. Anyway, as well as predictive programming and how the archons create reality through us. Okay, so let's begin at the beginning. When the controllers of this 3D matrix, this matrix of the mind, decided to distance itself from original source as much as it could and still keep on existing, and when it created Earth, right, when they created Earth, this very low density 3-dimensional realm for people to come and grow in through contrast and density, but it was a trap, right? They lost their ability to create due to the fact that they were not as connected to source creator, and therefore they create through our consciousness. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Young's double slit experiment. It's one of the most popular quantum mechanical experiments that prove that we do collapse the wave function with our consciousness. There has been a lot of other experiments as well, and we do indeed create reality with our consciousness. As I did explain in the previous video, we actually jump to alternate space and we jump timelines as we evolve in our consciousness. So to firstly stop us from becoming aware of our multidimensional consciousness and the fact that we create reality, our school systems have been dumbed down, but then also we have what is called predictive programming. So one of the most well-known examples of this would be The Simpsons. Things that happen in The Simpsons and then years later it actually happens in reality. So this is twofold. One is they tell us what they're going to do, right? Because it's part of like a mystical law, karmic law, that you have to tell people when you are controlling them in this way, because then the subconscious mind accepts it, and then in a way you're bypassing karma. Another thing is also we create reality. So they make us aware of certain things, and then as long as it is in the communal consciousness to know about this, then it's not as shocking as it happens. There was a movie, and I can't remember the name now, also about a pandemic that, a few years before the whole COVID thing, that, exactly explained what would happen. Then the other thing is Loosh energy. So what is Loosh energy? Loosh, remember the movie Monsters Inc? So in Monsters Inc, we have monsters and they scare children, and then the screams actually give them battery power, right? So that's Loosh energy. These dark interdimensional beings, because they've lost their contact with source, they vibrate at a very low vibrational level. So they vibrate at the level of fear and hate and separation and competition and anger, right? And if we are not in that low vibrational state, they can't interface with our energy. If we are, it's legitimately like food to them, right? So if we don't look after our conscious state, if we don't do shadow work, if we don't look at what we consume, what we read, what we watch, we're easily controllable. I mean, look at the news and you'll see that it's fear, 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 right? All of a sudden, worldwide, we are focusing on all the fear. But also, the news doesn't just tell you what's happening, it also tells you how you're supposed to feel about it, right? And then people get divided into camps, and then they start fighting each other, and that is Loosh energy. So I said predictive programming, I said Loosh energy, and the fact that they create reality. So with this whole awakening and the fact that we are now realizing who we are, that we're multidimensional beings, time is becoming weird, we're realizing that the sun is changing. I don't know if you're aware of all the power cuts in Europe lately, right? That definitely has to do with space weather. It's not a solar, a coronal mass ejection, but it has to do with the funneling of energy. You can go look at this under suspicious observer with a 0 instead of an O. So yes, now we know that we are ascending, we're moving, we're changing, so the mosaic warfare is becoming worse and worse. So why am I telling you about this? So that you can protect your energy, right? We think that we are all thinking for ourselves, but actually, look at the doggos. But actually, we are being programmed, right? So it's like with the matrix. If you're not unplugged from the matrix, it's very easy for you to become an agent, and that means the egregore, or the thought system, literally takes you over, and you think you're thinking unique thoughts, but you're just saying what the egregore is saying. I've seen this many times, you know, the moment you mention ivermectin, almost like the same sentence will come out of everyone's mouth. No, that's you know, cow medicine, and it's very bad for your liver, or very bad for your kidneys, you know. No research whatsoever. Or why didn't you get the thing, you know? Don't you care that grandmother's going to die, you know? What about herd immunity? And that is the egregore talking through you, and how that is done is through repetition. So even if you are aware of the fact that you know, your television is programming you, legitimately programming you, if you keep on consuming the content, then reality is being created through your consciousness. And also you think that you're thinking for yourself, but you're actually not thinking for yourself. So to make time to shut off your phone, shut off your television, you know, don't doom scroll, start reading a book, spend time with friends, spend time in nature, and then very importantly, quiet time. Quiet time. Also, if something is triggering you and it's really deeply triggering you, go do some shadow work, right? Look at it, feel it directly, instead of numbing yourself with media, because this is what we've started to do. We're numbing ourselves with unhealthy food as well as media, and we're not spending time in beautiful nature like this. So anyway, that's it for today. So now you know what Loosh energy is, you know what predictive programming is, and you'll see this everywhere. It's crazy. If you look at 9/11, there are videos where they basically told us that 9/11 would happen over and over and over and over and over, you know, with subliminal messaging and subconscious messaging. So what did I say? Predictive programming, Loosh energy, as well as the fact that we create our reality with our thoughts, and that the archons, they do not have this anymore, right? So our point of power lies in, I wouldn't say controlling our thoughts, but choosing wisely, and then questioning, because a thought never goes away until you question it, right? A thought will not go away just because you tell it to go away. But if you question a thought by using Byron Katie's method, www.thework.com, then it will go away, and then you can see life more clearly, and you can have discernment, and also self-love and shadow work will help you with this. So I think I've babbled now. What was that? That was Loosh energy, predictive programming, and the fact that we create our reality. Have a lovely day. Bye.